My dear students, in our previous two videos, we had worked out two problems on job costing. I had already told you the problem on job costing will certainly appear for your section B for fifth semester costing methods of fifth semester BCom. See, in today's class, I would like to work out the last problem on job costing. Perhaps this is the last problem on our chapter, job costing. And the problem I have already solved on the board. And this particular problem is somewhat different from two earlier problems what we had solved earlier. See here, as you know very well that before solving any problem for that for that matter, see we have to discuss something about the theoretical aspect of this particular chapter also. See today I would like to just mention some of the features of job costing and then we will solve this problem. See the features of the job costing are each job is ascertained separately, job is accepted only against the customer's orders, and each order is independent, and each job is required special attention because of each job has its own characteristics. Flow of production from one department to another is not uniform. Each order is given a separate job number and duration for completing each job is less. These are some of the 7 characteristic features of the job costing. Once again, I would like to repeat. The cost of each job is ascertained separately. Job is accepted only against the customer's orders. Third important feature of the job costing is each job is independent. Each job is independent and each job is required special attention because each job has its own characteristics. Each job has its own characteristics. Next, the flow of production from one department to another department is not uniform. The flow of production from one department to another department is not uniform. This is the next important characteristic feature. See, each order is given a separate job number because you know very well that each job is identified with a distinct number. Each job is identified with a distinct number. That is the reason why each job is given a separate job number. Last one is the duration of completing the job is comparatively less when compared to contract costing. The last feature of the job costing is the duration of the completion of the job is comparatively less when compared to contract costing. These are 7 important features of job costing. I think you all conversant with the meaning of job costing. It is a specific order costing where the production will be undertaken only against the customer order or the customer requirements. See, after completing the features of job costing in today's class, let us solve one more problem. This is the last problem. Our earlier two problems, in first particular problem, the fixed costs were not given. In the second problem, the variable costs were given, computed and given already. But in this problem, here we have to calculate the variable costs with the available data, whatever is given in the problem. So the problem is this. So here, prepare the job cost sheet to earn a profit 20% on sales. So this is the actual requirement of the problem. Prepare job cost sheet to earn a profit of 20% on sales. See, the first important thing they have given in the problem is materials, 5,000 rupees. I have already told you, these materials are nothing but materials consumed. How do you calculate or compute the materials consumed? For that, in the cost sheet, there is a different procedure to calculate the materials consumed. That is, opening stock of the materials plus purchases plus carriage inwards minus closing stock is equal to materials consumed. How do you calculate materials consumed? There is a separate procedure for that. The procedure is opening stock of raw materials or the direct materials. You have to add purchases to it, and you have to add the carriage inwards to it, and you have to deduct the closing stock. You will get the materials consumed. But in this problem, there is no problem because they have computed and given to you directly materials rupees 5,000. See, coming to wages, this is the second important component of the product cost. There are three departments A, B, C. Department A worked for 30 hours, 3 rupees per hour. Department B 20 hours, 2 rupees per hour. Department C 10 hours at rupees 5 per hour. This is the data pertaining to wages. I told you already, when the hours and the rate per hour is given, you need not have to bother. Just multiply the hours with the rate and total all the departments, you will get the total amount of wages. So here 30 hours 3 rupees, 20 hours 2 rupees, 10 hours 5 rupees per hour. See, this is wages. See, coming to variable overheads, we have already described the actual meaning of the variable overheads. Variable overheads are those overheads which vary according to your level of activity or according to your level of production. If your production is more, these costs will also be more, and if your production is less, these costs will also be less. That means they increase or decrease with the volume of your production. Those costs we call it as variable costs. So whatever is given, this is the basis. See, we spent rupees 2,000 for 2,000 hours means 2,000 divided by 2,000 is equal to 1 rupee. Department B 6,000 divided by 3,000 is equal to 2. 6,000 divided by 3,000 is equal to 2 rupees per hour. Department C 4,000 divided by 800 is equal to 5. 4,000 divided by 800 is equal to 5. Similarly, fixed overheads, which tends to remain constant irrespective of your level of activity, these costs are to be met even if the production is low or nil. These costs we call it as fixed costs. So these fixed costs are to be calculated for the actual number of hours worked. They have given in the problem 10,000 divided by 5,000. 10,000 divided by 5,000 hours is equal to 2 rupees per hour. So everything is clear. But only thing is, variable overheads and fixed overheads, we have to calculate only for the hours worked. We have to calculate only for the hours worked. So this is the solution for this particular problem. Job cost sheet, particulars, two columns are there. One inner column, this is for our utility, and this is the outer column which will be taken ultimately. So materials, they have given 5,000, take 5,000 directly here. Wages, the actual number of hours are given here, three departments A, B, C, 30, 20, 10, and the amount of rate per hour is also given, just multiply it. So 30 into 3 is equal to 90, B 20 hours into 2 rupees per hour 40, and C 10 rupees per hour, 10 hours into 5 rupees is equal to 50. So 90 plus 40 plus 50 is equal to 180. So you add 5000 plus 180 is equal to 5180. This is the prime cost. One more constituent is also there, or one more component is also there for your prime cost, which is the direct expenses. We call it as a chargeable expenses, but in this particular problem, that chargeable expenses are not given. So you total this. So the prime cost is 5180 rupees prime cost. So actual is given. You take the actual here. This is the actual number of hours worked, because wages always represent the actual number of hours worked. See, coming to variable overheads. When you go to the variable overheads, department A 2000 for 2000 hours. So 2000 rupees divided by 2000 is equal to 1. But this department actually worked for 30 hours. So take 30 into 1 is equal to 30 rupees. So this is the basis you will have to utilize. 2000 rupees for 2000. So rupee 1. So 30 into 1 is equal to 30 rupees. Coming to department B, 6000 divided by 3000 is equal to 2. Whereas actual number of hours worked is only 20. So 20 into 2, because this 2 we have calculated here. 6000 divided by 3000 is equal to 2. 20 hours worked. 20 into 2 is equal to 40. 20 into 2 is equal to 40. Similarly, department C has worked for 10 hours actual, but the rate is given here. 4000 divided by 800 is equal to 5. So actual number of hours worked is 10. So 10 into 5 is equal to 50. Please understand, this is the basis given to calculate the rate per hour, labor hour for variable overheads. What you have to do is divide amount by hours and multiply it by actual hours. So 2000 divided by 2000 is equal to 1. 1 into 30 is equal to 30. Similarly, 6000 divided by 3000, 2 rupees. So 20 into 2 rupees is equal to 40 rupees. Department C, 10 hours, 4000 divided by 800 is equal to 5 rupees. It's very important thing. This is given for calculating the rate per labor hour. So 30 plus 40 plus 50, that is equal to 120. This is the total of variable overheads. So coming to fixed overheads, you know very well that fixed overheads will remain constant irrespective of the department, irrespective of the level of your activity. So they will not change. But only thing is, fixed overheads are given in total, but that has to be calculated for all the departments uniformly. For example, here the basis is given 10,000 rupees for 5,000 hours. That means you will get 2 rupees per hour. 2 rupees per hour. See how many hours we have worked. You need not have to calculate separately here. 30, 20, 10. You need not have to calculate. Because these fixed costs per hour will be the same for all the departments. So that is the reason why I have totaled 30 plus 20 plus 10. Put together 60 hours. So this 30, 20 plus 10. This is also 30, 20 plus 10. Rate per hour is given 10,000 divided by 5,000 is equal to 2 rupees. So 2 rupees we have derived. So 30 plus 20 plus 10, 60 into 2, this is also 120 rupees. This is also 120 rupees. So total cost we have calculated 5,420. This is the total cost. Total cost is 5,420. See here, I have already told you, prepare the job cost sheet to earn a profit 20% on sales. I have already told, when the total cost is actually known and you are asked to find out the profit on sales, you must go for the formula rate divided by 100 minus rate into total cost. So you know, when the total cost is known and you are asked to calculate the profit on sales. When the total cost is known and you are asked to find out the profit on sales, you have to go for one formula, that is rate divided by 100 minus rate. That will be calculated accordingly. That's very important point what is to be taken into consideration. So 5420 into what we have to do, directly you should not calculate, rate divided by 100 minus rate. That means exactly this is the 1/4 of the profit you have to take into consideration. That's very important point what is to be taken into consideration. So profit rate divided by 100 minus rate. Rate divided by 100 minus rate you will have to calculate. So rate profit is equal to 5420 divided by 20 divided by, this is actually 80. This is actually 80. 20 divided by 80. This is 21s are 24s are 21s are 24s are. Because the formula here is that rate divided by 100 minus rate divided by 100 minus rate into total cost. 100 minus rate into total cost. So rate is 20% divided by 100 minus rate is equal to 100 minus 20 is equal to 80. This 80 we have taken it here. This 80 we have taken it here. 20 divided by 80, that is 5420. Exactly 1/4 of this will be the profit. So 1355. 1355. So if you want to see whether your profit is 20% of this sales or not, calculate 20% of 6775. That is nothing but 1355. So this is exactly 20% of this 6775. 20% is 1355. So we have complete and we have satisfied the condition that 20% on sales. See, for that you will have to follow the formula rate divided by 100 minus rate into total cost. So this is the total cost 5420 into 20 divided by 80. 21s are 24s are, that is 1/4 of 5420 is equal to 1355. So you add this, you will get 6775. This is the total cost. Thank you.